Now we will do time charter. We saw in voyage charter, it was only for one loaded voyage. It started when you arrived at the low port, give tendered NOR. It started and it ends when you discharge all cargo and all lines cast off. So here this charter party ends. This is voyage charter. We also discussed demurrage. Now dispatch money is also another term. In this charter party, if it is giving rate of demurrage $10,000 per day, it will also be mentioned dispatch money is normally it is half of demurrage. Now, what is dispatch money? It is opposite of demurrage. Like if 3 days are given for loading or for discharging, and you take more time, 4 days, then ship owner gets demurrage. But if in the charter party it's written 3 days for loading or discharging, and you take only 2 days, so then dispatch money is paid, and who benefits? Less time, owner benefits because the charter is finished 1 day earlier. So owner will pay dispatch money at this rate. Owner will pay to charter. So that is a voyage charter. Now in time charter, it will be mentioned the period of time charter, that this charter is between owner, name of owner, and charterer, name of charterer. Second thing, it will be mentioned period of charter. It could be anything, 3 months, 1 year, even 15 years, or it could be also, instead of this, it could be mentioned for one loaded voyage or two loaded voyages, whatever. And third thing will be mentioned is the freight per day. Freight per day will be whatever. For Cape size vessel, it is approximately $20,000 per day. So this will also be mentioned. This depends on the age of the ship, reputation of the owner, all those things. Present market, is it up or down? So this is about time charter. Now in voyage charter, it will also be mentioned, even if it is not mentioned, it is understood that ship will perform this loaded voyage with due dispatch. Now due dispatch means that it will go from load port to discharge port without diversion. Means it cannot divert to take some more cargo from another charterer. And it also means that if we go at the normal full speed or economy speed and shortest route or most economical route, that means due dispatch. That means no diversion and normal economy speed, full speed, and it will reach the your discharge port. But in time charter, it will also be mentioned another thing is that full speed of the ship, it is guaranteed by owner, whatever, 12 knots. Economy speed might also be mentioned, and fuel consumption will also be mentioned, 30 tons per day, 20 tons per day, like that. So if charter instructs the shipmaster to proceed at full speed, he must do 30 tons per day or at 12 knots. Now what is in your hand? Should you maintain 12 knots or 30 tons? Speed is not in your hand, it depends on weather, current, etc. So only the consumption is your hand. So you must be careful not to exceed this consumption. This consumption is for the total period of charter. So one day, even if you exceed a little bit, 31 tons, next day you can make it little less, 29 tons. Average should be 30 tons. And this should only be for good weather days. Good weather. Good weather means wind force 4 or less. So after this charter finishes, the average will be taken of good weather days. Only those days will be considered good weather days. In those days, your average speed should be 12 knots. Normally, it is plus minus half a knot. So even 11.5 is okay. But if it is less than 11.5, let's say it is 10.5, then there will be a speed claim. That means they will calculate after the charter is finished that due to this average speed, it should be 11.5, we got one knot less. Then all this period of charter, how much loss has been there, and that will be converted into US dollars. For example, if there was a 1 day loss, so 1 day freight is, let's say, $20,000 per day time charter, and because of this less speed, ship performed this period of charter, whatever it was, 1 day extra because of less speed. So 1 day's charter will be paid by owner to charter. So that is called speed claim. And if you find the speed is okay, it is 11.5 or more, but vessel has consumed more than 30 tons per day, let's say 31 tons per day. So whatever is the period, let's convert it into days, and each day 1 ton extra has gone. So what is the cost of 1 ton of fuel for per day for this much period? So that will be known as your another claim, fuel claim, excess fuel claim. So that will be also paid by owner to charter. So each day 1 ton, for example, for 3 months, how much extra converted into US dollars. Then in time charter, there is another term, off hire. These are 2 or 3 types. For example, in the voyage had already started, and in the mid sea there was a main engine stoppage of 24 hours. So 1 day's hire charges, which is given in the charter party, let's say $20,000 per day, that is called off hire. So owner will pay charter 24 hours this. If it is 12 hours stoppage, then pro rata. So owner will pay charter not 20,000 but 10,000. This is off hire. Another type of off hire could be when the ship is alongside and discharging with ship's crane. Let's say 3 cranes, and there was a blackout or all 3 cranes failed for 24 hours. That is also off hire. Again, owner will pay charter, and if it was for 12 hours, owner will pay charter. But suppose only one crane failed, other two were working, and it's for 24 hours. One crane did not work for 24 hours, other two were working. Then owner will pay charter how much? 1/3 of this. So this much dollars, pro rata. So this is about off hire. If prior loading holds are not passed, then is it off hire or not? For this, you will have to read the charter party. In some charter party, it says if the hold are not passed, then vessel is off hire. In that case, owner has to pay charter. If it was not passed after 24 hours, it got passed, so 1 day delay, owner will pay charter this. But in some charter parties, it is said if holds are not passed, vessel will continue to be on hire. In this case, owner will not pay anything to charters. This is about charter party, time charter.